Are you struggling? Are you struggling with this whole process? And when I say, are you struggling? Obviously there's going to be people here that are struggling with certain elements of learning to drive, and that's kind of understandable. But are you struggling mentally? Are you struggling emotionally with this process? Learning something practical or doing a practical exam, combining that with adrenaline, these two are not very good friends. And that's what happens when it comes to the driving test. You get a lot of adrenaline mixed in with the whole process of learning a practical skill. And yeah, if you're driving a race car, having adrenaline coursing through your veins is not necessarily a bad thing, but when you're learning to drive and drive measured and controlled and safe, adrenaline is not a good friend. What's encouraged me to do this video is certain comments that I've read, specifically I think on TikTok. Should your driving instructor be shouting at you? Now, the simple answer to that question is no. Is it possible they might need to raise their voice occasionally to break through your concentration if you're not listening because it's a dangerous situation? That's possible, but shouting at you because you got something wrong is definitely not what should be happening. There are generally 4 reasons why you make a mistake. I'm going to say 5. I'm going to add a 5th one in, which is not really anything to do with you. It's more an act of God.
So you're going to have to bear with me here for a second. I forgot to put my phone on silent, but I think this phone call actually contributes to the video. So here it is.
Adam?
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Can you hear me?
I can, man. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so, obviously I'm back. I passed.
Yeah, of course you passed. Tell me the score, mate.
I got 41. You know what? His feedback was pretty much like accurate what you were saying, like about the environment, how the feel is. It was like, you've got really good potential to be a fantastic instructor. I thought, it's been talking to that rolling kid. I really appreciate the help. Like, a lot of it was like down to what you told me. So the open questions. The open questions.
Mate, yeah. I am so unbelievably, it feels a little bit like cheesy to say proud, but I am so seriously chuffed for you.
All right.
You're legend. All right, mate. Speak soon. All the best.
All right.
Bye. Well, that just happened. Do you know what? Some of that conversation might actually be poignant towards this video.
The open questions.
This is a PDI who's going through the process of trying to understand how to help people, and it's all about focusing on your pupil and trying to find out why a mistake occurs. And this is what your driving instructor should be doing with you. They shouldn't be shouting at you when you make a mistake. There's somebody called Drizzy who I absolutely think is hilarious, and he's online. You can go on TikTok, YouTube, you can find him. He's not a driving instructor. He doesn't know how to approach the situation of helping somebody through their process. He highlights the problem. He shouts a lot because obviously he's scared for his life. But a driving instructor shouldn't be scared for their lives because they are in always control of the car. They have dual controls, and also they should be seeing so much further up the road. It's the reason why a driving instructor has to read a number plate at 26 meters and not the regular 20 meters, which is what you guys have to read a number plate at. But the 4 reasons, I said the 5th reason, there are 5 reasons. The 5th one, I'm going to get it out of the way, is an act of God. Something just happens. You're driving on a motorway or dual carriageway, a wheel spins off one of the cars, bounces into your car. There's absolutely nothing you can do about that. That's not your fault. It's just a freak accident, right? So apart from that, there are 4 reasons why you make a mistake. The first one is your knowledge. You don't know what it is that you are supposed to do, and therefore it is the instructor's job to help to give you that information, to see if you already know it, which is why you always get all these questions, and if you don't know it, they give you the answer. Do you know the positionings that you take up when you turn right on crossroads? You know the two types of positioning you can take up?
As in like offside, near side?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one's offside?
Offside is when.
Okay, so offside, you're going around the back. The second reason why you make a mistake is because you don't understand why you should be doing it. You maybe don't see the relevance of it or the importance of it, and therefore you need to understand why you are doing something. If you don't understand it, you are likely to make a mistake. The third reason is that you simply don't have the skill or the practice to be able to do whatever the task is. And therefore it's up to the driving instructor to get you out, practice whatever it is that you're getting wrong, so that you can then do it by yourself. For some people, this takes longer. For others than it does for other people. I don't know if I've just said that right, but that's ultimately what it is. It takes longer for some people to get to grips with certain elements and tasks. I'm so chuffed with that phone call that just happened earlier, so I'm a bit buzzy right now. But if practice is what you need, it doesn't require somebody to be shouting at you. And the fourth reason is what could possibly invoke a negative response from your driving instructor, and that is your attitude. Now, attitude doesn't necessarily mean you have a bad attitude. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are somebody who's got a chip on their shoulder, but ultimately what it means is your approach to the problem is wrong. If you are coming into it thinking it's going to be easy and then it turns out not to be easy, then your attitude is wrong. If you just don't think it's important, well, then that is an attitude problem. And then you've got to be encouraged to change your perception of things. If you had been that car, how would you have felt?
Yeah, I probably would have beeped as well.
And the way a driving instructor should do this is, first of all, highlight the risks to others. And if this is not something that bothers you too much, then bring the risk back to you and the responsibility that you have as the driver for you to understand why you should be doing things in a certain way. However, it still doesn't require somebody to be shouting at you. We do work in a world with all kinds of people. We're not going to necessarily get on with everybody. That's just the way it is. But a professional who's being paid for their job shouldn't be shouting at you. If you just don't get on, and that can happen, two people just don't get on, then I would also recommend that you find a driving instructor that you fit with. So if you are struggling, and you are struggling because your driving instructor is putting you down and shouting at you, that's counterintuitive to your learning process, and I strongly recommend you go out there and you find one that fits you, because after all, you are a paying customer. If you would like to learn something else about something that I've taught, then there'll be a video up here that might be beneficial to you, in which case go and have a look at that, and I'll see you over there. In the meantime, get well out.